Most engineers think that world is now moving towards only AI, software, digital chips. But here is the truth most people are missing. Every AI system, every electrical vehicle, every medical device, every 5G phones, every IoT sensor, and every high performance computing system still needs one thing before it can think and compute or communicate. It needs real world to be converted into electrical signals. It is where analog IC design becomes extremely powerful because the real world is not digital. Real world is analog. Temperature is analog, sound is analog, light is analog, pressure is analog, power is analog. Speed, vibration, current, voltage, noise, everything starts as an analog. So in this video, I am going to explain why analog IC design can dominate for the next 10 years and why electronic engineers, layout engineers, verification engineers, embedded engineers, VLSI aspirant must seriously look at this career path. Stay till end because I am going to give you what are the most important skills that you should develop in analog IC design. Hi, I am Mabin Adaf, the director of GIICT. I help electronic engineers to get into analog IC design by hands-on training program. But today's topic is most important, why analog IC design will dominate for next 10 years. Here are 4 forces shaping the future of analog IC design, starting with where analog IC designers are needed most. If I break down this one into 3 categories, so first start with general purpose and analog component market. So in general purpose analog component market, so the trend is rising demand in consumer electronics. Then industrial applications driving growth. Third point, technology advancement enabling the new capability. Increased automation across industries. Expansion of IoT devices and infrastructure. If you have seen in your home, there how many IoT devices are there presently. And growth projection and R&D investment accelerating. So these all comes under general purpose analog component market. Now second point is high voltage analog IC market, right? If I break down into high voltage analog IC market, adaptation in electrical vehicles and EV charging systems. So renewable energy systems, solar and wind inverters, high power management for industrial equipment, safety and efficiency requirement in power electronics, advancement in high voltage tolerance technology, integration capability with digital control system. So these all are the requirement of analog in high voltage analog IC market. So now if I go to the third point, so analog mixer market, these all come under analog IC where analog IC designers are needed most. General purpose analog IC, second high voltage analog IC market, third one is analog mixer market. When I tell analog mixer market, the demand is more for audio processing for either professional as well as consumer usage, telecommunication signal processing applications, the broadcasting industries requiring precision mixing of analog signals, high quality audio and video content production, the noise reduction, innovation in mixer design, signal quality enhancement technologies. So these all are demand for analog mixer market. So if you go back where analog IC designers are needed most, these are the evergreen domain where analog IC designers are required most. So now if I go to the next point, so where are the real world applications driving analog innovation? Start with submersible digital and analog sensor market. There is so much digital and analog sensor market because the whole nature is in analog nature, but the computer digital, everything is in the digital nature. So the integration requires sensors. Starting with monitoring the underwater environment and marine ecosystem. Second one, usage in oil and gas underwater pipeline inspections. The environmental monitoring of an oceans and water bodies, marine research and oceanographic data collection, advanced sensing technologies for extreme conditions, and robust materials for deep water pressure resistance. So these are advanced sensor market. The second one is analog timer market. What is analog timer market? Industrial automation and pressure control system, the consumer appliance, washing machines and high voltage ACs, simplicity and reliability as core design priorities, and precision advancement for tighter timing tolerance, durability requirement for harsh industrial environment. So these are requirement of the analog timer market towards the industry side. And if I take analog multimeter market, we have used a multimeter in the electronics and electrical engineering field uses. So whatever we have used the small things in the lab, but in the real world the entire electrical and electronic engineers required the multimeter markets, voltage, current, resistance measurement applications, robustness and ease of use of electrical and field of electricians or technicians, measurement accuracy improvement across generations, and user interface enhancement for reliability and ergonomics. So these are the requirement for where the real world application, submersible digital and analog sensor market, analog timer market, and the analog multimeter market. Now emerging technologies where analog engineers must know. If I take general analog semiconductor market, the emerging technology are like widespread use in all categories of electronic devices. Second one, power management innovation for battery powered products. AI is expanding the power requirement is use, so the power management innovation for battery. And third one, signal processing at higher speed and lower power. This is what the critical now. Wireless communication enabling the IoT and 5G expansion, continued market expansion through 2030 and even beyond. This keeps on expanding. The second is general purpose analog IC market, automotive applications like EV battery management, right? The consumer electronics, wearable and smartphones, industrial automation, robotics, smart factories, electronic efficient power management for edge computing devices, enhanced signal processing at mixed signal boundaries, R&D, fabrication technology, advancement in advanced nodes, right? These are general purpose analog IC market which is in trend to grow. Now analog IC market, talking about analog electronics market also, integration in digital systems as the analog digital boundary, power management ICs for data centers and AI accelerators. This is the biggest challenge right now in the world. So high-speed data converters, ADC, DACs, which can achieve maybe 100 plus GSPS. Enhanced signal integrity for high-frequency communications. Consumer electronics driving the miniaturization and integrations. Automotive industrial application demanding. So these all are the future trends which are emerging technology where analog IC designers must know. Now the most important thing, skills that will never go out of demand. What are those such skills? Analog to digital converters market, real world signal conversion from physical to digital domain, high resolution data conversion for precision measurement, medical imaging, MRIs, ultrasound, X-ray digitization, consumer electronics, audio codecs and camera sensors, telecommunication, radio receivers, base stations, accuracy, speed, power efficiency, innovation driving. This is a huge market when it comes to data converters. Second is analog DVR market. What are analog? Surveillance systems for commercial and residential security. Video recording and storage in embedded analog systems. Security solutions requiring always on reliable operations. How many CCTV we have? We are 24/7. Storage capacity advancement enabling the longer retention. Video quality improvement through analog signal conditioning. And integration with the digital system for hybrid surveillance network. So these all are analog DVR market. Next comes low light analog detection modules market, the night vision system for defense and law enforcement, astronomical observations required ultra low noise analog, high sensitivity applications in scientific instrumentation, sensor technology advancement, defense, security, scientific research, driving long-term demand. So these all comes under skills that will never go out of demand. The analog digital converter market and analog DVR market, low light analog detection module market. So if I combine all of these things, these are the reasons why analog IC design market will dominate next 10 years. If you're someone deciding that which domain to choose, if you have this confusion, semiconductor definitely is one domain. In semiconductor industry, again, something AI cannot replace, that is analog. Analog is nature, analog is physics. Choose analog IC design. If you're in the non-core electronic jobs, this is time for you to get 4 to 6 month hands-on training program and get onto something which is reliable for next 10 years. So this is Mavin Adaf. I help electronic engineers to get into analog IC design with analog hands-on training program. If you're interested to get into analog IC design, this is your chance, and click the link, check my website for the upcoming updates. Thank you so much.